stars thou art calling, lost and ruined by the fall, lose all their guilty stain. This is my song, praising my Savior, weak and heavy laden, come just to take him at his word. All of the ground is sinking sand, all of the ground. Hail him who saves you by his grace, in the light of his glory and grace. I surrender all, just as I am, and wait. Oh, that in me the sacred fire mine out. I will listen to and hasten supply. Breathe on me, breath of God. More can he say than to you yet? It is well. He leadeth me by his own hand, and with each passing moment, strength I find. Fill my soul, your God will undertake to guide at the impulse of thy love. Let my soul look up with steadfast hope. I need thee, oh, I need thee. Yours be my glory ever. Earth's joys grow dim, its glories pass up. Thou, my great Father, and I, thy true Son. By my wandering heart to thee, approach of ever loveth, changeth. O love of God, how rich and pure, how here below. Praise him above, ye heavenly hosts. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Hi.
I don't know about you, but I just saw the last 2 years of my life flash before my eyes.
Yeah, that was something.
That is
a lot.
That's intense.
Yeah,
Man.
what well, yeah, so what's your favorite? Pick one. 60 songs, 6 minutes, no pressure.
Oh man. Before I do that, I should explain to anybody who's confused. That was all 60 songs from the Trinity Project in 6 minutes. So if you came on late, go back and watch it because it's kind of intense to watch. That's a lot of songs. Oh, my favorite. I so many. So
yeah.
many.
Sure.
I'm near my God to thee is so good, man.
That one's a really, really good
Man,
one.
thanks Melissa Wyatt. That was her at the harmonies. That sounds dope.
Yeah.
Rock of Ages is one of my favorites. Nothing But the Blood. There's some. It changes. It changes.
Sure. Right.
Because like the ones that were my favorite on Hymns of the Spirit, like 4 weeks ago, I was listening. And I'm like, oh, that one's better than I thought. Oh, I don't like that one as much. Like it's. I don't know. I don't know.
You know, it would be a completely silly and useless, but kind of fun project to do. You know how sometimes they'll do the little things where they take like one word from all these different clips, like news clips or whatever, like they songify things or whatever, you know, and like.
Oh yeah.
So do that with like all 60 hymns on the Trinity Project. Make a new hymn. Do like a version of Amazing Grace, but you take like one word from each of the 60 hymns and like.
That would be horrendous. I would imagine.
It'd be so silly, but I'd love to hear it. I would love to hear
like this, like my favorite is the Star Trek "Let It Snow." But make it so. Make it so. Make it so.
Yes, that
Yeah.
one. So good.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with
Okay.
anything. Anyway.
That seems like a great use of my time to do that for our next project. That seems like a
Yeah,
good
probably.
idea.
Sure. Yeah. You don't have anything to do anymore.
Also, if you heard this Hymns of the Spirit, that's the first anybody's ever heard Hymns of the Spirit ever, except for that video on our Kickstarter page. So
Oh yeah.
if you visited the
48
Kickstarter and watched the video, good job.
Yeah. Right.
I'm excited about Hymns of the Spirit. It's gonna be so good. Which we're kind of talking about today. So if you joined us, we're talking about the Trinity Project, which you can see in that logo right there. Trinity Project and that giant logo over there.
Why are directions so every
I don't know. So we're going to talk about the Trinity Project, partially because it's awesome and we just want to, but partially because some of you have been a bit befuddled by the whole thing.
word?
So we're here to do a thorough de-befuddling.
Except.
It's huge, and I totally get it. There's so much going on, and even we get confused about, like, oh, I forgot that thing exists, or like, what's in that package?
No,
What's
we are
one of the-
always fully aware of the enormity of everything we've done.
There's like 80 things in the worship leader pack. We're like, we surely forgot something.
Oh, 100%.
I think we might have gone overboard, Cameron.
You think? No,
I think so.
Sure. Yeah. No, here's the thing. Okay, so think about this, though. Think about this. In these 60 hymns, we cover like literally 1,400 years of church history. You know? Like, think about it that way.
Okay, that's true.
That's a lot.
So that's one hymn for every, like, 20
For every
years.
century? Yeah. Oh, gosh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, math is hard.
Oh, that's crazy. You might also notice that there's something missing from this live stream. The great and powerful Preston is stuck in a work thing. He's doing some. I don't know what he does. I think he like sells computers to zoos or something. I'm not sure.
I think that's pretty accurate, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
He's like
he got
Chandler Bing in Friends. Like, nobody actually knows.
He is. He's a transponster.
It's
He might be. I don't know.
yeah. And he
So
can't
currently,
be here to correct
so
it.
he got stuck transponsting right now is where he is, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a shame.
So let's talk Trinity Project, shall we?
Yeah, we shall.
Let's talk the whole thing. By the way, this is a Q&A and F. If you saw, that's question and answers and fun. So if you have questions, we shall provide answers and fun. Hopefully, I guess you can provide the fun too.
One of those things.
I mean, Preston's not here, so it won't be that fun, but
That-
we'll
yeah,
try.
it's-
We'll try our best.
What people usually say that Nathan and Cameron are the cheeriest parts of Reawaken Hymns and a frank voice, right?
You're not supposed to say that in public, dude.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Okay, let's talk Trinity. So, first of all, why don't you just say what the heck it is? What if somebody's never heard of the Trinity Project? Which I mean, at this
Okay,
point,
good.
it's
For a
like
second, I thought
nobody
you
in the
wanted
world.
me to say what the heck the Trinity was, and I
No,
was
no,
not
no,
prepared
no,
for
no,
that.
no.
Yeah. Okay.
No, they've tried that for thousands of years and haven't quite figured it out. So you just go for the Trinity Project.
Okay.
Right
That's it's hard to say which is more difficult. So the
Starting with blasphemy,
well, blasphemy is a strong word.
as is our way.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't be a live stream. Usually Preston contributes a healthy amount, but somebody's got to take up the mantle. So the Trinity Project is big. It's a lot. So it is a like creative should we say like creative resource pack? Is that maybe a decent way to describe it? That includes you had a really good like 3-word thing somewhere.
Here, I'll read the first paragraph. This was
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So here, I like your subtitle: 60 hymns exploring the Trinity through music, devotion, and art. And then I like this one too because I wrote it.
Of course you do.
The Trinity Project is a collection of books, music, art, and worship resources for fans of classic hymns, modern worship music, and for churches that fuse the two together.
That. Yeah, that. Yeah, so books. There's books. 4 books in the Trinity Project. And then if you count The Soul Felt Its Worth, our Christmas devotional is kind of the little hanging chad. There's like a 4th book that kind of fits in.
Honorary Trinity.
Yeah. Hymns of the Father, Hymns of the Son, Hymns of the Spirit. With each of the 3 books, there are 3 albums of 20 songs each, which is a lot, right, Nathan?
It is so many.
Yeah, there you go. So 3 books, 3 albums. So that's cool. You had that ready. It's like we planned this.
I know, right? You should.
That
I
was
have
incredible.
a lot of graphics. I'm gonna be super professional tonight.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I won't ever accidentally hit the Michael W. Smith button. Oh shoot!
that?
Oh, I did. Oh shoot! Oh no!
Oh man,
Oh, I lost it. There it is.
that was weird. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if we do books and we do music, it might make sense to do like a musical audiobook and combine them all. And so we did. Yeah.
Yep.
And if we're gonna have the music and devotional stuff, we may as well do some source books with liturgical guides and chords.
Oh.
And everything that you need to implement these in your church, like multi-tracks, backing tracks, lyric videos. Look at that. Oh man. What else? Oh, and
Boom.
there it is. That's all of the things.
And that's why we get befuddled too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of things.
Yeah.
That JPEG alone just broke a server, like an Amazon server somewhere.
It did. That's 182 megabytes right there. That picture.
That's it.
I didn't scale anything down, so.
That's good heavens. But there's some special stuff in the Trinity Project that's not even in that graphic.
There is. That's true.
Like an art book. Oh, like the Trinity Devotionals. Let's start there. Yeah, no, that's yeah. Which is all 3 things combined into one for the first time. So that's super cool. So Father, Son, Spirit, and on Kickstarter only, we're gonna throw in Soul Felt Its Worth in one volume.
Oh no! Wow. Oh, this is when this comes. I got it.
You have something? You have it?
No. There we go.
There it is. Look at it. With this little layout, it's like he's watching over us. I like that. Thanks, Mikey. Terrific. So Kickstarter only, 4 books and 1 hardcover. Really cool. And then there's an art book, which I really, really love. I think that's, Near God to Thee. Art done by the wonderful Sabrina Brown. You see a little sample right there. All 60 hymns have incredible art that goes with it. Oh yeah, look at that. Man of Sorrows. So it's a great gift, great coffee table piece, conversation piece. You'll notice there's little scriptures at the bottom. You can kind of like reflect on the lyrics and the scripture that goes with it. I'm pretty excited about that. That's cool. What I missed? There's got to be something I missed, right?
I think you got most of it. There's instrumental albums.
Oh, yeah.
See, right. I told you we forget stuff.
See, it's too much.
Right. Yeah.
Whose idea was this?
I don't know. Okay, so that's what's in the Trinity Project. So the core of it is, the core things are the devotional and the music. That's kind of what we started with.
Yes.
I'll show a short history in just a minute too of why we started with this. But so really we wanted to, we kind of had 2 parallel goals and they just fit together really well because I tend to equip worship leaders a lot and you guys tend to equip devotional lovers and readers of all kinds. So, yeah, sure. So we started with the devotionals and the music, and then I was like, I don't want to just like make some MIDI piano music to go with the books or something. Like, if I'm going to do this, I know, right? I want to like make versions of these hymns that like churches can use. Cause like, obviously that's why I do this, but a lot of people come to me and say, I can't find a good version of this. So thanks for making this. Cause yours is kind of the best version I can find that's not really changed at all.
Yeah.
But I really only had acoustic stuff before all this. And I was like, a lot of churches, probably half the people who watch were asking me, like, do you have any full band kind of versions? And I'm like, give me 2 years. So I didn't say that, but
famous last words.
Yeah, right. So that's what we're going for. So the Trinity Project, we decided. I don't remember. Do you remember if we decided the Trinity part first or the hymn part first? Or was it together?
What do you mean?
Were
the
we
hymn
like,
part?
oh, we want to explore the Trinity, let's do it through
Well,
hymns? Or were
it
we
all
like,
started with a very ambitious moment right before COVID happened. In 2020, we got on a Zoom call together, the three of us, and said,
you
hey,
know
we
what?
have...
Hold on. Wait, hold on. Let me just go to the play-by-play. Here's the play-by-play.
Okay, yeah.
Working on the Trinity Project for 2 years now. Before the Trinity Project, we worked together on a Christmas Devo and album called The Soul Felt Its Worth. After we finished that, one of us, in a now infamous bout of optimism, said,
Hey, that was fun. Now let's do, all the hymns.
and the other two, in a now infamous bout of overeagerness, said,
Yeah, let's write 3 devotional books, record 3 double-length albums, record 3 audiobooks, and make hundreds of worship resources in a year and a half.
So that was actual video from our meeting.
Yeah,
Actual
great
video.
documentary. Yeah, we had the foresight to hire a documentarian and
Yeah.
did a great job. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how it worked so well. I mean, clearly God was involved in this, but we had these. They weren't 60 hymns at the time, but we had these hymns, and we're like, we also would love to kind of explore the Trinity, and they just fit together so well. And we're like, well, these hymns can explore the Trinity, so we kind of split them up, and they split up very well into the Father, Son, and Spirit. Spirit was a little iffy because the Spirit's kind of hard to define.
Well, and Baptists are afraid of it, and many
That's true.
great hymn writers were Baptists. So
That's true. Yeah. But I mean, it worked out well. So that's what this is. If you want to learn about the history of hymns and all that, this is great. But also, if you want to learn about the Trinity, if you want to learn about the character of God through the Trinity, this is great as well. So we can't even define the core two things, let alone all the other stuff. This is why.
right, it is. Well,
I don't understand why people keep telling us they don't understand what this is.
Yeah, I can't figure it out. It seems pretty straightforward to me.
Yeah.
Show that graphic again. Very straightforward. Yeah. I thought I had something insightful to contribute, but I don't.
Let's go through. Well, first let me show. Okay, first of all, it's 60 hymns.
Yeah.
With the Soul Felt Its Worth, the honorary fourth member, it's 85. So just to give you a
84
scope.
because 83 because there's 2 overlaps.
Oh, you're right.
Sorry to spoil that for you. I'm sorry.
Oh man, I gotta change everything.
What?
Everywhere I wrote 85 hymns, I gotta change it. Yeah, because Come Thou Thou Joyful Joyful's on the Soul Felt Its Worth too. They're different versions, so they count as 2. They're Christmas versions.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah. One has
Okay.
jingle bells, the other doesn't.
Here's what 85 hymns looks like in the theme of space opera. That's excessive. I'm just going to say it. That seems excessive.
It's so many. I
So many.
definitely couldn't have named 85 hymns before this. Side note, where did you get the music for that?
It's just one of the stock Final Cut.
Oh,
Yeah.
terrific. Okay. For a second, I was like, did you just sit and write that? Because it's
Yeah, I composed that.
it
Yeah.
fits. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. No,
I don't
it's
know
just
what
a
you
stock
do in
Final
that basement.
Cut. Yeah. I composed space opera music mostly.
That's okay. Yeah.
Let's go through. Let's kind of go through what each thing is a little bit. We won't spend a ton of time on each. I don't know what to call them. Resource. I'm gonna call them resources on each resource.
So each item or each.
Each
thing.
item.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's start with the core. And again, you might be like, well, why am I watching this? We're going through all this. This is a Q&A /F fun. We'll have fun. So, but we just want to answer all the questions out there in this live stream. So right now we're going to go through each thing in the Trinity Project, each item, kind of tell you what it is in case you're wondering what it's going for. Also, we'll talk about it more at the end, but we have a Kickstarter going on right now, which I haven't mentioned yet, 20 minutes in, amazingly. We have a Kickstarter going on right now. So go check that out. I didn't put a link in any of the descriptions because I completely forgot to. But if you just go to Kickstarter.com and search the Trinity Project, I'm positive we're the only Trinity Project. Positive.
Yes. No, you're right. Yeah.
And you can get all this stuff on there, and you supporting us this way also helps us get the stuff made, because having art books and hardcover special editions and all that stuff isn't super cheap to get made. So that would be helpful.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start with the core. We'll start with the devotional and the music. So let's start with the Devo. So, what's the Devo all about?
Hymns. We've been talking about that for 20 minutes.
Okay, but if I get a Devo, what should I expect?
Okay. Yeah. No, that's good. So all three of the devotionals have this in common. They are they're 28 days, so about a month, especially February. If you start February 1st, you're in a good spot. 28 days and broken into 4-week segments, and each week kind of has a theme. So hymns of the Father, hymns of the Son, hymns of the Spirit will each talk about a specific aspect of Father, Son, or Spirit for a full week, and then the next week we move on to another one, and the hymns kind of go along with that. So, for example, hymns of the Father, grace is one of the themes for the week, and you might imagine one very popular song fits perfectly into that theme, Amazing Grace. So we look at the lyrics of the hymn, we talk about the history of the hymn and what inspired it, and then we have a devotional. You can kind of see some of that there. So what do we learn from the story about the hymn? What do we learn from the lyrics of the hymn? And what do we learn from the scripture on which it's founded? And that's one of the great things about all these hymns are like firmly rooted in scripture, which is part of like our selection process, was making sure that they were actually grounded in scripture. So yeah, that's really, really cool. And there's some reflection questions at the end to help kind of, bring it home. Lots of scripture too. So little scripture references throughout that help reinforce what each thing is talking about.
Cool. So, if you just like devotionals, if you like hymns, if you want to learn about the Trinity, all of that, yeah, the devotional is good. I didn't write them, so I can say this. They're really good devotionals. Like, they're really good.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah, just check them out. We did the Soul Ellsworth audiobook, which we'll talk about later. Me and Laura did it together. Like, we listened to it every morning, which was really cool. It was a bit weird because I was singing, but that won't be a problem for you because you're not singing on these.
Some people are.
They're not They're not the thing on the audiobook.
Yes, yeah.
Yes,
right,
I was singing to myself. Okay, so next up we got the music. So that's kind of those are the main things that started this whole thing. So again, each book has 20 hymns in it. Each album is the same 20 hymns. Hymns of the Father, hymns of the Son, hymns of the Spirit. And then that big, beautiful purple one is them all put together. That's our Trinity graphic, which has got the Trinity logo, but I didn't even realize this till he mentioned it. The purple is actually a combination of all three of the colors of the albums too. So that's smart thinking right there.
Big brain time.
Yeah. So each one is 20 songs, same 20 songs that are in the book, and the songs match too. Like, there's some minor differences for when I had to change things for the purposes of singability in churches, and they wanted to keep just some original bits for just historical in the book. But they're minor. They're almost always minor. So
not often.
What you see in the book is what you'll hear, which is really cool. They go together perfectly. So all the songs on them, as I said earlier, are kind of modern worship versions. So like I said in the Kickstarter, they'll fit right in the service next to songs by guys named Chris or Phil or Joel or whoever the Bethel guy is. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
So that was my goal, is to kind of, I think these hymns are still incredibly valuable, and I think a lot of them are almost blank slates musically in some ways, and I had so much fun turning them kind of modern. But I didn't change the melody or the lyrics, so that's a big thing that happened with these. Yeah. Other than one hymn that I rewrote and a few lyrical changes, and then Hallelujah on the Soul of Ellsworth, which is a completely new song because I couldn't do the.
You wrote two songs. Oh well, yeah.
Hallelujah
Hallelujah was completely different. You wrote another song,
different.
at least the melody line, on Soul
Jesus
of
thine.
Ellsworth.
Yep. Jesus thine all. Oh, on yeah. Oh, glory. No. Oh, yeah. So three. Glory be to God on high. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
All of those were from hymns that either I couldn't find an original melody, or the original melody was just non-modernable. like the Hallelujah chorus, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. I could have tried, but that would have been ridiculous, and I wasn't going to do it. If you want to do that Hallelujah chorus, then do that Hallelujah chorus. Like,
Yeah, I'll give you a little plug on that. Your version of the Hallelujah chorus is probably one of my favorite. Like out of the 83 or 85, I guess, hymns, that's like top 3 for me out of all of it. So good job.
Wow.
And you almost talked us out of like doing it all together. You're like, I can't do it. It's not gonna happen.
I did.
And then it happened. And it's amazing.
Cool. Sweet.
So
that's the albums. I think you'll enjoy them if you're a fan of hymns or modern worship, unless you think that electric guitars and drums are from Satan, then you will not enjoy them. Okay, so next up, we have the thing that combines... in 2 years, I've only got that comment one time, which I was surprised at. I was ready for, like, constant, like, you've destroyed the hymn, but I don't know. I mean, I get
That's
occasionally, like, it's not my favorite, but I've only gotten one, like, boy, you're a
Hard.
demon. So, the audiobooks is the next thing. So, the audiobooks are both of what we just talked about put together, the devotionals and the music. And again, they're super cool. Me and Laura did the Soul It's Worth for Christmas. We listened to it in the morning, and it's really cool. Like, I mean, it's like a devotional thing all just there. Like,
Right.
you hear the thing, and you hear Cameron read the whole thing, and you hear me play the music, and it's all like 15 minutes long, and it's super cool. It's just its own little...
It's perfect.
devotional
I've
thing.
heard a lot of people will use it for like their commute when they like go to work. Just throw it on. You get like a quick little song, so a little moment of worship, and then a little bit of Devo. Start your day off on a good foot, good standing.
And you get the smooth, sultry voice of Cameron Frank on those. So, which I'll show you right now. Here's a little like
Great.
preview clip of the audiobook.
With a hymn like this, it's difficult to find just one poignant verse or line. It seems every word is more potent than the next in the presentation of the gospel and Christ's sacrifice for us.
Man of sorrows, what a name for the Son of God who came, ruined sinners to reclaim. Hallelujah, what a Savior.
We are the ruined sinners that he has reclaimed by his blood. He sealed our pardon and set us free. He brings the ransomed sinner home. There you go.
It's pretty cool. So in the book, there's not actually music behind you singing. That was just for the video. They're separate in the book. But
Yeah.
you got anything about the audiobooks?
No, I think did we miss anything? No.
No, I don't think so.
They're awesome. I think they're cool.
It's devotional and the music
Pretty
together.
unique. I don't think anybody does that. No.
Yeah, we made musical audiobooks, and we're like, is that a thing?
Right. How do we market
It is
those?
now.
Exactly, right. Yeah.
All right, so that's audiobooks. Let's go. What should we talk about next? There's so much. See, source book.
Yeah.
Source
Yeah,
book.
let's talk about that. Yeah, that's
Source
important.
book.
That's good.
So now we go on to the. Well, before I go to this, I should just mention this. Also, all 3 of the albums have instrumental versions
Oh, yeah.
of the albums available. So if you just want background music while you're studying, or if you're a church and you want background music for videos and stuff, I give permission for you to use them in church services freely. So
There it is. You heard it.
which it's $10 for 20 songs, which you can pay $10 for one song for a royalty-free song. So
Yeah, for sure.
there you go. So, and then now kind of going to the worship resources side, we'll start with the worship source book. So the worship source book is a chord book and a bunch of other resources. So each hymn has the chord sheet. There you see the recorded key, and then in the back of the book there's alternate keys too. So you get 2 different keys. And then it also comes with a chord profile, which is a transposable format of a chord chart, so you can play it in any key. So it's got the chord chart there, and then on the right side you'll see is an info page about each hymn. So you have the related scriptures, which are almost usually the same as the book, although sometimes I added or changed some because we had different things going on in the book and source book. That's the history, which is an abbreviated version of what you'll get in the book. The worship element is a liturgical element like call to worships or a prayer or a communion thing or a benediction. Those are all original, written by me, and they're based off of the scriptures that go with that hymn, or occasionally they'll be based off the hymn and the scriptures. I tend to go for basing off the scriptures as much as possible because
When in doubt, yeah.
that's just a good thing to do.
That's a good one.
And then finally is the worship team discussion questions, which I really enjoyed writing. Those are at the bottom. So for each hymn, you get all four of those things.
Forgot about the worship team part. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, those are not the questions. Sometimes they're based off your questions in the book, but your questions in the book were based off the devotional, which wasn't in the source book.
Right.
And they weren't based on worship teams, and I want a worship team discussion questions, so I wrote a lot of new ones. So there's some pretty challenging questions in there if you want to do some worship team discussion stuff.
Very good. I need to go look through those.
Yeah. So that's the worship source book. I wanted to create more than a chord book because I personally, when I'm planning worship, I love to have lots of stuff because I like to add elements. I like to put in scriptures around it. I like to talk about what the song says or read the scriptures beforehand. So that's what I was going for. The histories are more just for your own kind of edification of reading it, but the scriptures and the liturgical elements and the worship team discussions are all for, worship leaders and worship planning.
Good stuff.
All right, moving on with the kind of worship resource stuff. Let's go with the lyric videos. So each hymn has a lyric video as well, which is the hymn over lyrics and custom filmed and made motion background. So me and Laura actually went out to a park here and filmed the videos and edited them, and so now they're kind of colorized, modern looking nature videos. So there's a lyric video for each hymn as well, and I think I have one of those I kind of showed you. All right, yeah, here's what a lyric video looks like.
The cross I cling, without clothes I come for dress, without hope I come for rest.
Speaking of hymns I rewrote.
That's
That was not on purpose. Okay, so that's what the lyric video looks like. There's all kinds of the different looks to it. Like you can see here is 2 of them, but every one of the 60 lyric videos has a different background. Now, they're the same footage. There's like 10 different nature videos, and they're similar colorization. So there's like 10 different colorizations, but when you put those 2 together and mix them up, you can get more than 60 combinations. So each one has a different background, if that makes sense. So you never have 2 that are exactly in a row if you're using, it makes sense. Don't worry. Yeah. So that's lyric videos. Also, Rock of Ages, there was an example of, I gotta take that off. There was an example of one of the hymns that I did minor lyrical changes because I didn't want to sing naked. And I think a lot of worship leaders would be hesitant to sing that word because the modern context of it is a little more iffy than when it was written 200 years ago. So I went without clothes. So again, that's one of the, like, if there's lyrical changes, it's changing from naked to without clothes. Like, I'm not changing the meaning at all of these hymns.
right.
Okay. Next up, let's go multi-tracks. So there are multi-tracks and backing tracks for each hymn. There's not really a good way to show you a multi-track, but there's one in a DAW and there's one in the Loop Community Prime app. So if you don't know what multi-tracks are, they're just all of the instrument files. So they're just WAV files, which are just audio files like an MP3. There's WAV files of every single instrument synced up and everything. Clicking cues as well. You load them into a DAW or you load them into an app that can use them, like the Loop Community one. And then you have a backing track that has all of the instruments separate, so you can unmute them and change things and play what you want and take out the drums, take out this, add this, whatever. So those are multi-tracks. There is a multi-track for every single hymn, all 60 of them.
That's so much. It's awesome.
And I don't want to be silly here, but they're really cheap. Like, multi-tracks on the big sites are like $30 a piece, and on Reawaken Hymns, I do mine for $10 because I think that's what a lot of small churches can afford. So they're $10 a piece, and then if you get the giant worship library bundle on Kickstarter. It's $500, which is less than it costs for just the multi-tracks in that pack at $10 a piece. So
Yeah. Plus, you get all the other stuff that we just talked about, right?
plus you get all the other stuff. Yeah, we'll get to all that Kickstarter stuff later.
yeah.
So there's multi-tracks for each one. There's also backing tracks, accompaniment tracks, I call them. So those are just a single audio file, like an MP3, that has the song without vocals on the right side and the clicks and cues on the left side. So that if you're just a solo worship leader, you can play along. You can plug it into your board, split the two. You send the right side with the music out to the congregation. You send the left side with the clicks and cues to your in-ear monitors, and then you can play along to the song. So that's what an accompaniment track is. Mm-hmm. And is that all the worship resources? Did I make it? Is that all the things? I think that's all the things. Okay, so that's all the normal things, the non-Kickstarter special things we have, I believe. Mm-hmm. Let me check our giant thing here. We talked about books, Oh, yes, that's all the things, but I do want to mention that the books and albums and source books all have physical versions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you want, so all the albums, there's 2 CD sets of. I got.
Oh, there you go.
I can't do this. It's like a mirror universe over here. I got this. So that's. I don't have the Spirit yet. Those are being made. I don't have those yet. But so there's all these 2 CD sets. So again, there's. I mean, even just the 4 albums is 8 CDs because they couldn't. They're giant. It's
good heavens, so many.
There's paperbacks for all of the devotionals. Again, I don't have the Spirit yet. I think there's hardcovers on Amazon for them too, aren't there?
Yeah. No, yes, there is. There is, in fact.
And the source books also.
And large print for some of them. Yeah.
You have large print?
Yeah, for
That's cool.
Some of them. Not all of them yet. Working on it.
Also have source books too, so those are like full magazine size, 8x11, so the cord sheets are big enough. Yeah. So all those things have physical versions. And then there's a couple of more things that have physical versions, but those are Kickstarter only. So am I ready to talk about that yet?
Oh, we do have one question about multi-tracks.
Okay.
YouTubes.
Yep. Where's my chat?
No idea.
Oh, I forgot about the chat. I'm so sorry, everybody. This is the worst Q&A of all time. Do the new tracks make it to multi-tracks?
I think Hymns of the Spirit will have multi-tracks.
Oh, yes. Hymns of the Spirit will have multi-tracks. So Hymns of the Father, Hymns of the Son, Hymns of the Spirit will all have multi-tracks. So all 60 will have multi-tracks. Hymns of the Spirit comes out September 30th. So on September 30th, the multi-tracks will be available on reawakenhymns.com.
1 month from today. Did we plan that?
No. Huh. 1 month from today.
You're supposed to say yes. You're supposed to say, yeah,
yeah, we did. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fingenuity, which is an amazing Facebook name, by the way.
Yeah, that's good.
Fingenuity. I got the first 2s that came out and absolutely loved everything about them. Thank you, Fingenuity. And Jamin. Preston was sad that he couldn't be here and asked Jamin. See, shoot. Preston was sad that he couldn't ask you how to pronounce your name 100 times like he did last time. And now
that's
I
like
have to.
One of the staples of our live streams.
It's Jamin, isn't it? I say Jamin because it's like you were one of the singers. I'm like, Jamin was jamming on the singing. Yeah. But I think it's Jamin, isn't it? I'm so sorry, Jamin.
You're also jamming. You posted a video of you doing one of the Reawaken Hymns things the other day, which is really cool. Thank you for sharing that. That was awesome. On Instagram. Tagged us in it. Come on, bro. Check your notifications. Check the gram.
Well, I don't know what it was, but okay. I don't really recall that. Okay. So that's all the things of the Trinity Project. I hope all that made sense.
But that's fine.
Again, that's part of the reason we're doing this, because there's so many things, and we just want to have a place that we can tell you what they are, because it clearly takes 42 minutes already.
Heavens.
So I know. So now let's go to the Kickstarter itself. So we're going to move on to the Kickstarter here. So right now we have a Kickstarter going on.
What is Kickstarter?
I'll tell you. Kickstarter is a website where people launch projects and other people like you back projects to help people like us get stuff made for those projects.
Yeah, very
Did that
good.
work?
Yeah, no, I think that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So basically, we created a campaign on Kickstarter, which is just our own page, and you can go on and you can back it, which just means you're supporting our project so that we can raise the funds to make the actual things. Because for some reason, Amazon still won't print books for free for us.
I send an email to Jeff almost every week, and
Yeah.
still
I don't get it.
nothing. But there's CDs. You gotta do CDs. There's there's all kinds of things.
There's an
the
art book,
which we're gonna
T-shirts,
talk
which will,
about.
yeah.
Oh, T-shirts. I forget about the T-shirts.
Yeah. So that's what Kickstarter is. So our goal for this, to raise all the funds we need to make this, is $10,000, which for some of you might be like, oh, that's not much to make a whole source of resources, and others might be like, that's ridiculous, which means we're probably right in the right place.
Maybe a sweet spot. Yeah, that's
Right. So, but yeah. So we calculated costs, and that's kind of what we need to fund it, plus the pre-orders, and plus us feeding our families and kind of stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah. What?
Because Preston has 16 kids, so
Right.
He's
17.
got it.
Yeah, one's on the way. Yeah.
that's
yeah.
true. Yeah. He doesn't have.
You think we're exaggerating? We are, but less than you think.
Not by that much. It's fun when Preston's not here. He can't talk back.
We can say anything. I hope he's watching. We're gonna get text.
Jamin. See, I knew it was Jamin. I just have Jamin in my head because you're a singer, bro. You can't be a musician with the name Jamin and not expect me to call you Jamin because you're.
It's a
Jamin.
missed opportunity.
Yeah. You can call me you can call me Nathan if you want to. It's fine with me. Although that's not as cool.
I
but-
accept. You were talking to Jamin, but I will accept that
Okay.
on his behalf. Yeah.
Blake asks, when does the edition release? The Spirit releases September 30th.
1 month from
And
today.
Fingenuity says, dude, 3 exclamation points. Which I feel like I should put on the screen because why not?
Look at that. No, that. Yeah, that earned a good
Isn't that a
spot.
cool username? Fingenuity.
That's great.
Watch that be is that your actual last name?
It's like no, that's
You're
my
like
name.
John Fingenuity.
I mean,
Okay. Let's talk Kickstarter. So I'm gonna show Kickstarter real quick. Evan asked, "Can I get this on vinyl?" Evan. I so very wish I could say yes to you. And
with
I can
a
say-
sizable enough donation from
Yes.
you, Evan.
yes.
Yes.
So I actually priced it because vinyl's awesome, and because we've overdone it and made 60 hymns, each record would have to have at least 2 vinyls. I think that each one can barely fit on 2 vinyls.
That's double-sided.
Double-sided, 2 vinyls, so 4 sides per thing. So that would be 6 records for the Untitled Trinity Project. Just producing 100 of all of them would cost $7,500.
That's so much money.
Just to get 100 of each of them. So, if our Kickstarter goes crazy and we get $7,000 above our goal of $10,000, then we have talked about doing vinyl because vinyl's awesome. So,
Vinyl would be dope. I would be
Yeah.
all in on that.
yeah, I would so be all in on that. So, if you've done Kickstarter, this thing's all stretch goals once you get over. One of our stretch goals idea is for sure vinyl.
Evan says, "Make it happen." He's got the shelf ready for it.
I do too, man. I got a big record right below my computer is all my records. I feel you. I want a gold one to put on my wall too. Those are really expensive though.
Yeah.
What's a Kickstarter? Okay, let me show you all Kickstarter if you don't know what I'm talking about. Just
Let's
if
see.
you do know what I'm talking about, stick with me. I just want to help out the people who have never done Kickstarter before. Let me share my screen, which is the most dangerous thing possible on a live stream. See if this will work. It probably won't work. Oh,
Hey!
it worked.
So far, so good.
Okay, so this is our Kickstarter. This is the Trinity Project. We're at 60% already, which woohoo! That is awesome. Thank you for the 50 of you who have backed. There's a video here which a wonderful person produced and hosted named Nathan Drake.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Here's a cool GIF that Cameron made. The page is awesome. I'm sorry, the page is just really cool.
Oh, yeah,
So if you there's just tons of info about all the stuff we're talking about here. There's some of the videos we've showed, all kinds of stuff. And then over here on this side, These are all the reward tiers. So when you decide to back our project or support our project, you choose a reward tier. So it's for our thing, it's just like ordering. For some, it's not, but for ours, you're just ordering all the items and such. There's a lot, was why we're doing this live stream. So can get a little confusing. So if you see these giant list of things and you're like, oh boy, scroll down on the main page, and Cameron made a beautiful graphic with all the reward tiers that are over on the side, and it kind of summarizes them and shows you pictures and makes it easier to look through. And we'll actually kind of go through those on the live stream here.
There's a good chance that graphic is the single largest graphic I have made in like 15 years of graphic design, by the way.
It's huge.
Look at this. It's one single graphic.
That is one single JPEG right there. And then the add-on to it is just as long.
Oh, yeah.
This project was way too big. Oh, there's Preston.
There's a lot.
We'll just pretend he's on there. I'll just leave it up there, pretend he's on there. Okay, so that's about the amount of motion he usually has in his video anyway. When
You're not wrong. Yeah, that's on brand. Yeah.
So I do want to go through a couple things. So we do have 2 build your own bundles. Sorry, I hit my mic. For if you don't want what's in these, or you're just too confused, or you know exactly what you want, you just want to make it. One's for digital, one's for physical. We only had to do separate because physical needs shipping, obviously. Physical, you can add digital things though, so don't worry. So I'm going to click on one. So say you want to build your own bundle. Giant green, select this reward will come up. You have to enter for the build your own bundles because they're kind of a build your own. You have to start with something. So you can just start with one if you want to, if you're going to add a bunch of stuff. Got the shipping there. Oh, apparently you can't. Oh, because it's the shipping.
Oh. I was like, no, what broke? Okay.
I got it. That's the shipping. Because 4 plus 1 is 5. I got it. So it's saying that's your shipping amount.
No, that checks out. Yeah.
So this is build your own, and then these are all the add-ons. So if you want to build your own bundle, this is all this stuff. I know. And also when you pledge, you'll see this on the side. Rewards aren't guaranteed. For a lot of things that are like people are making a fancy smart light or something that might not happen, they put that there, but you don't really need to worry about that with ours because these are going to get made. There's not an issue with that. So don't let that scare you. That's not really applicable here. All right. So that's how you do a reward if you want to. It's not hard. And if you do one that's a bundle like this, you won't have to guess how much. So it's $30 plus $5 shipping. It'll put it in for you. And then with any of the bundles, you can add on all this stuff. Again, so much stuff. So that's how you make a pledge, just in case you were worried about how to do that properly. All right.
I will say one advantage to Kickstarter, and you were probably going to talk about this later, but I'm here now, is I think most of our prices are discounted on Kickstarter versus like what they'll be on Amazon or our websites later, right?
Yeah, they are.
So that's a good thing to keep in mind. If you're on the fence and like, yeah, maybe I'll just wait, you can.
Which I've actually noticed is the opposite of a lot of Kickstarters. A lot of the ones I've been looking at have been like, since you're like supporting and backing a project, it's kind of considered like a donation. So it'll be like, hey, I'm making a 5-song EP, send me $30 and I'll send you a 5-song EP, where they're not actually going to charge $30 for it once it comes out.
Sure hope not.
So I mean, ours is kind of a discounted pre-order as opposed to most, which are more than what you'll pay. These are actually discounted prices. Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
What are some of the Kickstarter exclusive stuff?
Oh yeah, Kickstarter exclusive stuff. Fingenuity liked the ability to do ads on, he said. And Jamin, I did it right. So great. Blake, there's a lot of... Blake says, it's so crazy we're talking about vinyl in 2022. I know, right? Now the rage is cassette tapes. And then, I'm just ahead of the curve, because in 10 years, this bad boy's coming back. People are like, that's so vintage. I got a CD binder.
CD. I still have one in my car. Well, I guess it's for DVDs, for like my kid, because we have the van with the screen, So go on road trips, pop in Lion King, and anyway. So
Jamin says, those t-shirt designs.
Yeah, what t-shirt designs? What are the t-shirt designs, Nathan?
These t-shirt designs. Yeah. They're awesome. I feel bad saying that because I made them, but they're awesome.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So what did you say about them, Nathan?
One for sass and one for class, my friend.
Dude.
One for if you're feeling sassy and one for if you're feeling classy. So these are both the Trinity. The first one is all three symbols, Father, Son, Spirit, and then under it says squad goals, which if you don't know that reference, you should probably get the other shirt. Or get that one, and all your friends will think you're super hip. Yeah. And then the second one is the Trinity logo that we have on all the combined stuff. It's in gold, so that one's super classy looking. I kind of want both of them. I probably will get both of them.
100%.
Yeah. So those you can get those as an add-on, like I showed in the Build Your Own bundle, or they come with quite a few of the bundles. I think most of the kind of larger physical bundles come with the T-shirt.
Yeah. Hey, if you're watching, let us know which one you like better, Class or Sass. Be interested to see which is more popular, Squad Goals or simple Trinity logo. What you got?
Curious. I've said a lot of people have said, "Oh, those T-shirts are awesome," but they didn't mention which one they were excited about.
Yeah.
Speaking of shipping things, by the way, if you live in Australia or Canada or Europe, I'm very sorry. If you live in Canada, I'm slightly less sorry. If you live in Australia, I'm really sorry, but not quite as sorry. And if you live in Europe, I'm very sorry. Because we can't ship it all to Europe because of taxes, and we have to register, and we just can't do that. We just don't have the capacity, really, to do that and maintain it as our own tax entity. In Australia and Canada, you can get shipping on Kickstarter. For Australia, it's $50. I know it's a lot. It's actually less than it actually costs. We're taking some of the shipping price, too. It's like $65 to $70. So and in Canada, I think we put $25 and it's actually like $35. So
I think you're right. Yeah.
We're doing our best to make shipping available to other countries. Don't blame us, blame UPS. Actually, thank UPS because they were like $40 cheaper than the US Post Office. So
interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, good enough. Also, if you're in Australia, good morning, I guess.
Or is it is it tomorrow or yesterday?
I think it's tomorrow.
Okay. Fingenuity is all about the sass, which, I mean, obviously that's your name, dude.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
All right. So T-shirts are one of the Kickstarter kind of exclusive things. Those might be available sometime in the future somewhere, but honestly, we don't know. So
yeah, right.
If you for sure want one, I would go for Kickstarter now because we don't know when it'll be available. This next thing will be available after Kickstarter, but it is definitely cheaper for Kickstarter, and we have to fund the Kickstarter to get it made. So this is kind of the one thing in here that, like, if the Kickstarter doesn't fund this is in question. So
yeah,
this is the art book, and it's awesome. And tell us about it.
Yeah, me. That's my cue. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I love it. I'm excited about it. I think we had this idea, like what are some things that we can do that are different, that are creative, that fit kind of what Kickstarter, like the spirit of Kickstarter, and also the spirit of like what we're looking for. Like we should do really cool like art book that has beautiful art that goes with the hymns, great like conversation piece, coffee table piece, gift for like the hymn lover in your life. Christmas is coming, so think about that. Plan to ship in October, November, somewhere in there. So has all 60 hymns. Left side will be that full page, gorgeous artwork like you see there. Right side will have all the lyrics. It'll have scripture references there at the bottom. So it can also be kind of a really cool like meditation piece, or just kind of like, hey, this song is really neat. I want to, like today, I'm not sure what I'm going to read in the Bible. So maybe I'll pull up Isaiah 53 and think about Man of Sorrows. And that's kind of a really, really cool element. So a lot of like good creativity, which we love, obviously. I'm excited about it. I can't say enough about it. I'm excited.
I am too. It's super cool.
It's really
cool. So cool. Yeah, we keep saying the Christmas present thing. We're not trying to sell you like it's a cool Christmas present. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if I buy a couple for Christmas presents for people because it's really cool.
Yeah, right.
So that's our book, and then I don't have this is the only thing I don't have a graphic up. Well, we also have bookmark sets that will kind of be based off of some of these artworks from the book. I believe every tier that has a physical product in it. So if you're paying shipping on something that has a physical product, every tier that has a physical product includes a bookmark or two. I don't remember how many.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. We'll just throw some in there. It'll be great.
And those are definitely a Kickstarter only thing. So yeah, so that's just kind of our thank you for supporting us on Kickstarter. Is some special one of a kind bookmarks.
Yes.
Oh, and here's
super cool.
here's another Kickstarter only thing I forgot about: the starter pack.
Oh yeah. How did
Yeah.
I miss that?
I know,
That's a
right?
big deal.
So this is actually, you know what? This is where we should go into the tiers.
Ooh,
So
yeah,
now
yeah.
I want to kind of quickly go through the reward tiers on Kickstarter, just because we have a ton of questions about these, and I want you to know what's in them and what you want and all that stuff. So we're going to go through these real quick. We start with what I just said, the starter pack. So that's that first tier you see that's not the build your own $10 starter pack. So it's a 10 song kind of best of album and a 2-week devotional, the digital album and ebook. So it's funny because for the Trinity Project they're small, but it's a full length album and a 2-week devotional for $10. Like
Yeah,
that's a
right.
normal size thing. They
Right,
just-
right.
So we kind of went through the other
Crazy.
day and picked the 10 hymns, and it's a combination of the most popular hymns and all three of our personal favorites from the album. So you're kind of getting a best of both regards there. Those are the 10 hymns that are on the album and the devotional. So that's the
Good.
$10 tier. $20 tier is a choose your own. So that's the physical book and CD set. So it's an actual paperback and a 2 CD set. Again, for $20, that's ridiculous because that's how much 2 CD sets cost. Sorry, I'm not trying to sell. When I'm reading these, I'm like, well, that was awfully cheap. Okay, so sorry, I'm just seeing them now.
Terrific.
So there's 3 of them, obviously: hymns of the Father, hymns of the Son, hymns of the Spirit. That one you can choose any of the sets.
And mix and match, right? Like, say you want, for whatever reason, Hymns of the Spirit book, but you want Hymns of the Father CD.
Yeah,
Is that probably
if you're
that's fine.
if you're kind of strange, you can
We'll
mix
ask you.
and
We
match.
send out a poll at the end of the Kickstarter and say, "Hey, what do you want?"
You couldn't listen and read at the same time because they're different songs.
Oh, that's true. You got, but hey, it's up to you.
You do
Equal
you. You
opportunity.
do you. So that's the choose your own paperback and 2 CD set. Also bookmarks, as we said. Then here we have the Trinity Devotionals hardcover. This is super cool. So this is all 3. I know it says 4. Give me a second. It's all 3 of the Trinity Project books put together: Father, Son, and Spirit. And when it comes out in the real world, that is what it will be. But if you order on Kickstarter, it will be a 4-book devotional because it will also include The Soul Felt Its Worth, which is our Christmas Devo. And it's a hardcover. And it's going to be fairly large, isn't it? I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
It's
it'll
gonna
be.
Whoops.
What is that? It'll be 350 pages or something.
3,
Maybe more?
yeah. Probably thicker than that, actually.
Yeah. Probably about like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's 3 months. With The Soul Felt Its Worth, it'll be 4 months, so.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's been one of the most popular so far, which makes total sense.
Sure. Yeah.
Then we have, as we talked about, the art book. That's the $30 one. That's just the hardcover, brand new art book. Is it an 8x11, or do we know the size of it?
Yeah. It's like magazine size, but hardcover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I keep
About like
clicking
that.
the wrong thing. So it'll be like that size, but hardcover.
Yep.
Then we have the 2 digital experiences. So the $36 one is all 3 ebooks and all 3 digital albums, Father, Son, and Spirit. And then the $50 audiobook experience is those same things plus all 3 audiobooks. So all 3 ebooks, all 3 digital albums, all 3 audiobooks. So some people got confused about those. Those are the same tier, except one has audiobooks.
Yeah. Which, like, all 3 audiobooks by themselves are almost $50. That's.
See, you're realizing it too now.
Yeah.
aren't
No.
you?
It's like, hang on. Yeah. That's.
Whoops. Like we said, they're accidentally discounted, apparently.
Fairly steeply.
Fairly steeply. Okay, so at $40 we got the man. This sounds like a
It is. It's
sounds
very
like the
QVC
PBS
now.
pledge
That's-
drive, isn't it?
Oh, it does. Yeah.
At the
We've got
$40,
people on the
you get this
phones
tote
now.
bag, yeah. For a donation of only $1,000, we'll give you this mug.
Yeah, for $7,000, we'll give vinyls to people. Anyway,
Okay. All right. So this is the play along. So it's the paperback full source book. So that's all three, Father, Son, and Spirit put together. All 60 hymns. That's what I showed you with the chord charts and worship resources. I know there's so much. I'm losing all my graphics here. And then it's all 3 digital albums as well. And it includes the Chord Pro files for all 60 of them. So if you're a worship leader or a guitar player, this is kind of the cheapest way and easiest way to get into playing all 60 of these hymns.
yeah, which is awesome.
All right, here we have these are the two most popular so far, which I kind of assumed because they're the super fun ones, especially for gifts or just for treating yourself. So these are very similar bundles. Why don't you explain these? You're better at that.
Yeah, am I? Yeah, so the kind of two different levels of hymn lover, hymn connoisseur. The hymn lover, $60, comes with paperback of the 4-in-1 devotional. Yep, this is thank you for joining us. This is our annual pledge drive.
Pledge drive.
We are supported by listeners like you. This is anyway. So paperback devotional. It's the 4-in-1. So all 3 hymns of the Father, hymns of the Spirit, hymns of the Son, and then the soul felt its worth. All 4 2-disc CD sets. So that's a total of 8 CDs if you're counting. And your pick from the Squad Goals or the Trinity Project T-shirt. And we had some questions about like why that one includes a paperback version of the devotional instead of the hardcover. And mainly we just want to make that like as affordable as possible for entry level. If we had the hardcover, that adds cost because turns out hardcover is not like, just, you can go to Barnes & Noble and see the difference between hardcover and paperback. So we want that to be a good like entry level inroad to be able to get that level. There is an upgrade option. Say you're like, I don't really care about the art book, but I would love everything else with a hardcover. There's an option for that. Add on. You can add on the hardcover upgrade thing. Connoisseur is next level for the people who just love hymns and all that kind of stuff. Hardcover of the 4-in-1 devotional. Hardcover of that beautiful art book with, again, all 4 CD sets and your pick from one of the 2 awesome T-shirts. Did I miss anything? No, that's it. Yeah.
So they're basically the same, but the hymn connoisseur has the hardcover version instead of the paperback of the devotionals and the art book.
Yes.
Yep. Oops. Oh, there's so many graphics over here.
Oh, hey, we're back.
Not that people don't know the difference between a hardcover and the paperback, but here's the hymns of the Father. We have both of them here. So you can't tell, but the hardcover is pretty beefy compared to the paperback, obviously.
Sure.
That devotional hardcover is going to be intense.
It's going to be pretty sweet. I'm excited to see that one. Yeah.
This totally feels like a K-Love pledge.
It's really...
Sorry, people.
Yeah.
We're really just trying to go. We've had so many questions about the rewards. That's part of the reason we want to do this. We just want to clarify everything. We're terrible salesmen, trust us. We would be terrible on K-Love. We would be fired real quick.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We'd be like, maybe donate, but like $1 is fine. You don't have to. Just don't give us money. Actually, we'll just give you the OBS. Yeah.
Okay, so Jamin, if you're interested, shoot me an email. I actually have a box of them. I'm looking at them right there. I have a whole case left over from the last one. So I have white and black. So I should probably list those on my website, maybe. Anyway, shoot me an email. Or
like I said earlier,
message me on
we
Instagram.
don't ever know when the T-shirts will be available because those weren't.
Right. Yeah.
You can collect all 3 T-shirts.
Ooh. Yeah. Send me a DM, Jamin. We'll hook you up.
All right, so then we move on to the for the church kind of things. These are both, I like to call them hymn libraries because there's so many things. Mm-hmm. The first one you see, the $100 one, is kind of the basics of what you need to play everything. It's all the chord sheets, all the albums, all the music, all that things. So it's the 3-in-1 source book plus the Soul Felt Its Worth source book, so you get 4 source books. You get 2 source books, but the first one is 3 source books. Well, I made that way more confusing than it needed
What
to be.
just happened?
I'm sorry.
Also, I'm noticing our graphic says all 3 digital items in CD sets, but then there's 4 CDs pictured. So I guess I'm a moron. Or no, then it says includes. Okay, never mind.
This is why we're going through this.
There's too many things.
Okay. So this one basically includes all the things for chords and music for all 4 albums, but also the physical things. So you get the paperback 3-in-1 source book that covers Father, Son, and Spirit. You also get a paperback Soul Felt Its Worth for Christmas source book.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Then you also get all 4 CD sets. Father, Son, Spirit, the Soul Felt Its Worth. You also get the digital versions of those. You also get the instrumental digital albums as well, because I know people who are playing the chords might want to play along with these, which, hot tip, by the way, like 4 of the 60 songs have acoustic guitar in them. Like, so if you're an acoustic guitar player, which I am, you can play along and not be clashing with any acoustic guitar. So
No, hey, yeah, very good.
that was not necessarily deliberate for that reason, but once it happened, I was like, well, that worked out really well. And then you also get a t-shirt. And then we go up to the $500 one, which is, I know, a huge jump, but that's because it's all of the multi-tracks and everything else. All of them.
Yeah,
so again,
so 60.
if multi-tracks are $10 a piece on my website, which they are, that's $600 just for the multi-tracks. So $500 seems like a pretty good price. So it's all 60 multi-tracks, which, by the way, if you play 3 hymns a week, like if all you play is these hymns every week and you do 3 of them a week, you won't repeat one for like 6 months.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. Okay. So all 60 multi-tracks, all 60 lyric videos. It's got all the source books. It's got the hardcover devotional. It's got the art book. It's got all the albums. It's got all the instrumental albums. It's got all the CDs. It's got the t-shirt. I don't think there's a thing that we've talked about that's not in this bundle. I don't think. So this is literally everything.
Yeah.
Which
It's the worst.
I know $500 is a large number, but for a worship resource for 60 things where you get everything, that's a pretty low cost for a lot of church worship programs,
Sure.
I think.
And you'll be set up for like ever.
Forever, yeah. Okay, and then our final tier is kind of a completely different special one, and that's a host your own worship conference. So I'm not going to go into huge detail about this right now. If you're interested in this, email me, nathan@reawakenhymns.com, and we can talk about it. So basically, me and Cameron and Preston will come to your church for a full one-day conference, like morning to evening. We'll host like 3 or so worship times, me playing the hymns. I'll teach a breakout, Cameron will teach a breakout, Preston will teach a breakout, and somebody from your church, like your pastor, can teach a breakout as well. So you'll have multiple worship times. You'll have multiple breakout sessions that you can choose from throughout the day. It's a legit full one-day conference for your church. And your church can host it for like local leaders. You could sell tickets to it for the community, or you could just do it as a private event for your own church. Up to you. We'll work with you and we'll kind of create our own custom conference. So that's what that's all about. So if you've ever been interested in having like Reawaken Hymns coming to your church, or to host your own worship conference, email me. We'll talk about it. It would be so much fun. Like, I'm excited about it. Let's do it.
It'd be really cool. Yeah, I'm for it.
All right. And then finally, we're not going to go through these, but these are the add-ons. Again, there's so much. It's ridiculous. There's
literally, there's an add-on for everything, right?
Yeah, I think so. Pretty much. There's not ones for like multi-tracks and lyric videos. That was just too much.
Right. Yeah.
But all of the regular non-multi-track lyric video things.
Yeah.
I think we did it.
Is that okay? Hey, and it only took an hour and 12 minutes.
12 minutes.
That's it. See how easy it is? It's just super accessible.
Okay, well. Yay!
Yeah,
If you stuck around for us this whole time, thank you so much. Jamin, Fingenuity, Evan, Blake, possibly. I don't know when you came in, but you were here pretty early. Thank you so much, guys. That was a long thing.
It was a lot.
And a lot of details.
Yeah. Hey, Fingenuity, still sticking with us. Thanks. buddy.
Yeah.
See?
So if you're watching this later from probably either my YouTube channel or the Kickstarter page or one of our Facebook pages, and you have any questions about this stuff, email us. We'll totally answer. Or you can, if you're on Kickstarter, you can leave a comment on Kickstarter and we'll answer you there as well.
Yep.
And as far as the Fingenuity is a vested interest in this.
All right.
Who are you, Fingenuity? Do I know you? Are you one of the singers? Were you one of the singers, Fingenuity? Who are you, Fingenuity? Okay. Probably like my wife. And she
I was going to say, if that's Laura's burner YouTube account.
It's your Laura's burner YouTube account. What was I saying? Oh, it's Sandy. Sandy Finn. Oh, yeah. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, Sandy Finn.
Oh. I just said hi, Sandy, and stop. Siri, go away. I said Sandy, not Siri. Siri's answering me. I said, hey, Sandy, and Siri was like, okay, I'll look up fins for you.
just what you've always wanted, marine life in the middle of your live stream.
That makes sense now, Fingenuity. Okay, Andrew says, great work, guys, incredible stuff. Thanks for your passion for hymns and worship. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, the Kickstarter, by the way, again, thank you so much for supporting us. That it's hard to launch something of this size and make all the things and all that. And we're like, you know what? I think Kickstarter just kind of makes it easier for everybody and for us and for people ordering things. And so that's why we're doing it currently. So if you are planning on ordering any of this stuff, we'd love for you to order it on Kickstarter. Yeah. If you already have father and son things and you just want spirit, you can still totally do that on the Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. Most of the pre-made bundles on there that we made are full project things, but if you go to that build your own bundle, every single spirit thing other than lyric videos and multitracks are on there. So you can make your own spirit bundle with the albums or the CD sets or the books or source book or whatever. So we're not trying to forget about you. If you've stuck with us and you bought the Son and the Father, that's awesome. Thank you so much. You can get all the spirit stuff on Kickstarter.
Yep.
I think that's all I have. You good?
No, yeah, I think, hey, you did a good job.
Thank you. You did a good job.
Hey.
Are we nicer when Preston's not here?
Yeah, what's happening? This is weird.
We thought we'd murder each other.
We literally...
We thought Preston was the glue, but maybe he's the dividing line.
And he's not here to defend himself, so I think that's true. We'll say it's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay. All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for joining us on this weirdly hospitable live stream.
I don't have anything to say to that.
Yeah, go check out the Kickstarter if you haven't yet. Again, I didn't link it. I'll link it in the future once I get past this and edit it. But for now, just go to Kickstarter.com and search Trinity Project. And if you're watching this later, it will be in the description. I'll add it. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us, and see you later.
Yeah, you're awesome.